What do you consider a wasted life to be? A life spent in fear. Fear of failing, fear of not being good, fear of anything. I had anxiety around tons of things and changed my fear. It turned my life around. One that doesn't make you happy. Whether that's regretting unfulfilled wants, an unhappy marriage you dread, a job you despise every day, etc. One where a person has so much potential, and so much to offer, but they stay stuck and don't grow into the person they could become because of pride or fear. My dad always told me, better to have a life full of oh wells than to have a life full of what ifs. And that has always stuck with me. Unfortunately, when someone has become an addict. I know someone who recently got straight and is in therapy. I did not know how deep into drugs they were. They are a completely different person now. I believe there's a time for everything in a life. A time to be materialistic, a time to learn to see past materialism, a time to challenge yourself and go past your limits, a time to let go, a time to be happy, time to grieve, even a time to just waste your time, being so dedicated and preoccupied with a single goal: work, an invention, religion, activism, study, way of life, etc. that you miss out on creating good relationships and countless other experiences of life that may have given you much more meaning and fulfillment than achieving that single goal. Blaming other people instead of finding a solution for their problems. A wasted life for me is when people have to work until their 60s or wake up, go to work for 5 days, come back, eat, cook, do something for an hour or two and sleep. And do you even have time to raise kids? You can. You barely have time for your kids or your Saturday, Sunday to do all the chores, errands, and finally do some stuff I wanted to do a bit or just relax. And repeat work shit. I hate how so many people's realities are life to work until you die is a wasted life. A life where you never take chances and get out of your comfort zone, and a life you've lived selfishly. If you've never made it a point to benefit others' lives, you've wasted your own. Posting every memorable moment online instead of just sharing the moment with that person. People. A guy I used to be friends with. He didn't do anything after high school. After a few years, he got a construction job across the country. Gambled every check away. Came home broke. Lived with his parents. Got job, and after dead-end job, went back to school for an associate degree that he couldn't lavage. Drinks every day, goes to be at 3 a.m., sleeps till 12 p.m. Gambled any little monies he has or blows it on jewelry like a Rolex he bought on credit. Never had a girlfriend. No kids. No family of his own. Out of shape. Blames everyone but himself for his situation. Doesn't read books. Still lives at home. He's 47 now. Doing inner work, growing intentionally, unpacking your shit, understanding yourself and how your experiences have shaped you. Also never traveling, doing the same thing year after year. And taking advice from people whose lives you wouldn't want to live. Only obligation you have is to live your life and try to do no harm, whether that life is 5 minutes or 100 years. There is no wasted life. Just lives lived differently. As Emilio Estevez's character said in The Way, you don't choose a life, you live one. Wasted life, to me, is one where someone never pursues their passions or dreams, just going through the motions without finding what truly makes them happy. If dedicated to the pursuit of material wealth at the expense of human relationships. As my dad's friend puts it, congratulations, you have the cemetery's most expensive tombstone. You never find something that moves you. Something you like even if no one else does. Something that you love so much it doesn't matter if no one else does, even if it's something everyone else does love. Something that you love and it takes more than words to explain. Despite that fact, you have hundreds of words to say why you love it, and that's enough. Spend your life on what you don't have instead of extolling and cherishing what you already have. One who wastes their whole life searching for clout, money, or fame only to realize, it doesn't matter. If I make enough money to get by, find my job tolerable, have the love of my life with me to the end, and smile, laugh plenty per day, I am set. I don't need some fancy mansion or to judge myself based on others' opinions. Movies, TV, books make it out that if you don't get rich or powerful in life then you messed up. I believe life is measured by how much good you put into this world and how it makes you feel. But to each their own. Go get that dollar if that's what makes you happy, I guess. Pursuit of status and wealth. That's why you see many wealthy people after they've reached a certain point with wealth become exceptional human beings with all areas of humanity. Those who continue to take, accumulate and exploit humanity for more and more, those are a wasted life. Taking a job that pays enough to live a comfortable life, but only going home after work to sit and watch TV. Telling people to fuck off if they are deserving of being told to fuck off. People I see standing on street corners in my town with pamphlets for a free Bible class. They are with the JW religion, and it is sad to see them wasting their lives for a fairy tale while being in a very controlling cult, especially when they have their young children with them. They are wasting their own lives and grooming their kids to waste theirs too. A lifelong friend that was far more academically gifted than I. He is talented in many ways that I am not, and he was able to land good paying jobs seemingly effortlessly, but he could never stick with anything. Now in our 60s, he still has no degree, he is employed at a lower wage job as a security guard, and he lives in a low-income studio apartment. I always thought he would be a huge success, and I was slightly jealous of him when we were younger, but he just never thrived. What makes it worse is that he doesn't do drugs and rarely drinks, he just has a total lack of ambition. No, I know this sounds stupid, corny, and like something someone who hasn't experienced it would say, but I'll see my life as wasted if I can't find a partner and make them happy. If I can't make someone who I love dearly happy, what's the point? More of a determinist. So a lot of what goes on in our life is dictated by things that come before and are outside of our control. So like I see somebody say a life ruined by social anxiety, and another say a life that's dictated by other opinions. If all these things are really outside of our control, then it was predetermined that we would be the person who has social anxiety, etc. Then I don't understand the question. No life is wasted. Life simply is. And if there's any value in a human, that value is intrinsic and cannot be increased or decreased by any of the factors named here. Life is wasted in my personal opinion. Everyone has done so many deeds in their life directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly. All these actions have led to some small as well as huge events. So if a person has contributed even a bit, then I don't consider calling that life waste. For example, if a baby is born and due to unfortunate circumstances it passes away just a day after, it still has an impact on the parent's mind, which somehow contributes to the deeds that they do later on. So the baby's life, even if short span, can't be considered waste. Similar example could be a person turned into a hero while dealing with a spare me. If I am spewing nonsense, I am half asleep, sweating face, praying gesture. Pursue your goals and make a beeline for it. Ignoring everything is the fastest way to climb. But you also miss out on why you started climbing in the first place. 99% of people don't live up to their potential, but some people don't even live up to one of theirs. People who want to be miserable, want to be pitied, and go to any lengths for that. Should consider every day lost on which we have not danced at least once. Friedrich Wilhelm Nietzsche. I'm so crippled with anxiety and depression that even things I used to love doing don't bring me any joy. And the basic things I need to do to survive take so much energy that I'm left totally exhausted anyway. Don't consider any life as a waste, cause their life, their choice. Kids under 18 years old can say everything about how wasteful their lives have been, but after 18, if they still think so and still live that way, then it's totally their fault. Really waste a life. You have a vision of your personal heaven and you constantly judge others based on this. There's no wasted life. No one chooses to be born. This idea that you are somehow obligated to do A, B, C or X, Y, Z is insane. As long as you don't hurt others, you can do whatever you want with a clear conscience. It's your life that you are forced into and can live it the way you want. Relationships way too long that give nothing back to you. Living your life passively based on the opinions of other people. Only working and sleeping. Living a life dictated entirely by the trauma, medical problems, and issues you have.